The wind is definitely keeping me up tonight. It's rocking me in my hammock. One last look before I head out. It's amazing how much quieter it is just getting out of the wind. Getting a really early start this morning, mostly because I couldn't sleep. So I generally sleep really well outside, but last night I did not, and had a lot to do with the wind. And so I just got up. I have 17 miles to do anyway, at least that's the plan. I'm going to hike to a wayside, and they're open from 9 to 5, I think. So I want to get there before that for dinner. And then I can camp not too far away. And maybe I'll even go for breakfast in the morning, I'm not sure. It depends. 9 o'clock is pretty late for me to get started. But I calculated incorrectly. And so my next town stop is scheduled for Sunday, and they don't have a reservation for Saturday. So I can't go early, and that means a couple of really slow days. So maybe tomorrow, since it's going to be nice, I'll get up leisurely morning and do some yoga, find a good camp spot where that's possible, and who knows, take it day by day. I want to mention that the sleepless or restless night is not a bad thing. My body absolutely got the rest. My mind, not so much. But I'll have that memory. Memory of, being on top of a mountain and the wind like rocking me and everything pounding and flapping, and me worrying about my tent stakes getting ripped up and hunting for rocks, and I'm wondering if I made the wrong choice, and then realizing I was safe, and I won't forget that night. It's not always the comfortable nights that stand out. I see a deer. I've seen a lot of deer. In fact, I was counting them at first, and then I stopped counting them because I see them all the time. Very similar to at home, though. There's always deer in my backyard. This guy's curious. Hello, my friend. I've been walking behind the deer for a while now. It'll stop and eat and then get up and go, and Wonder if I'll remember this moment. This. I haven't had very many hiking partners, and today it's a deer. Good morning. Look at this. It's beautiful. So physically, I'm doing great. No major aches, pains. I still have that weird thing in my right knee, but it's getting better. The tendon in my right ankle doesn't bother me all the time anymore. I don't have anything that's consistent. My shoulders have been better. I still am very careful, but they've been better. And that's not the case in a couple of the hikers that I know. A couple hikers that I've been hiking with on and off are really struggling physically, and yet they're pushing. And one of the things that I've noticed these last couple of days is that I get to camp and I'm not done. I could go more. And at the beginning of the hike, that wasn't the truth, or that wasn't the case. Every time I came into camp, I was dragging myself in. I was done like 2 miles or an hour or 2 hours before I even got to camp. And yet I pushed. And these last 2 weeks, I have felt like I could go somewhere, and yet I stop. And I wonder if that is playing a role in my physical well-being. We'll see. When I see my fellow hikers in pain, I want to say, slow down, don't push so many miles. You don't have to do 20s and 25s, and especially those that don't have a deadline. But I also know that this is their hike, and there are a lot of people out here that are doing it for the physical challenge, and I'm just not. I've done enough of that in my life, and so for me, that's not what this is about. And for others, it's exactly what this is about. And so they're not going to slow down. The physical challenge is what keeps them going. And I just am going to take a few moments today to send out some positive energy towards them so that their bodies can continue to recover as they push forward. Starting to rain. It's time to put my phone away. I'm heading to a campground. Should be here pretty soon, where I can get water for the day. The rain keeps going on and off. The wind is present. And although my body feels good, it's still a challenge. These climbs, these miles, 15 to 17 mile days with a 25 to 35 pound pack. It takes a lot out of you. I think the lack of sleep definitely is playing a role for me today in my ability to exert myself. I've been craving this peanut butter and banana wrap for days, and I am so hungry. I was so hungry. I ate 2 of those banana peanut butter wraps and an apple. Not only did the wind keep me up last night, but my hunger did too. And I was too lazy to get up and go get my bear can and get food. I'm not sure why I'm hungry like that today. Seems like with the wayside food, I would be less hungry. Looking at this thing hanging down, you probably can't see it, but it's around the corner here. It's the top of a tree, kind of like tipped out. The clouds have moved and the sun is here for now. The terrain has changed quite a bit. It feels more open. Today I started out feeling great physically, and after 6 hours of hiking, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the lack of sleep and the heat and the ups and the downs. It's been just endless ups and downs today. And I think the ups are to the overlooks. There's been a bunch, but they're all overlooking the same view that I had at camp last night. And with the clouds and so forth, there really wasn't much to see. The terrain has been a mix. Some extremely rocky areas and other softer pine tree paths. There's been some ferns and some longer grasses. Just a mix of everything, really. I'm stumbling across a burn area. And to be honest, I don't know if it's a controlled burn or a fire. There was a video I did probably 2 weeks back now, and I spoke of an area that was a controlled burn, and I later on found out it wasn't. It was actually a forest fire. I think this is controlled, but I don't know. Getting towards the end of the day. I don't know how many miles I have left to go. Too many. I decided to continue to go when I got water, which was going to be kind of my last stop, and then just hike and find a campsite. It was only 1:30, and I can't stop at 1:30. I mean, I could, but I decided to just keep going. And so if I move quickly, I may even hit the wayside for dinner, which would be kind of fun. But right now my feet are tender and it's been a long day and I am ready to be done. Well, I made it. Time for dinner. I wonder what they're having. I've been trying to pick something new at each wayside, so this should be fun. Third wayside meal, it's an apple cider chicken something or other that looks delicious. Well, that was delicious. Now it's time to find a couple of trees and call it a day. I found the perfect campsite and I have a friend. You see the bunny? Just hanging there, eating. Been there this whole time that I've been set up, not afraid. Wonder how long it'll stay. I found the most amazing campsite ever. And everything's all hung up. I even have a spot for yoga tonight, tomorrow. It's magical. There's a butterfly.
Campsite was amazing, but very buggy, and I really react to bugs, so got lots of bites and my feet are itchy, and so I took an antihistamine and hopefully it won't bother me too much. It was a long day, I don't know, 18 miles I think, and I don't think it's gonna rain, so I have my tarp porched out, and it feels like it's going to be a nice night, a little bit cooler, and I am hoping for some great sleep.